Hey fans and subscribers, this is your host Joe from the Gaming for Insight channel with you to bring a video on the ROG mod case that is designed and developed by Handheld DIY. And I have the parts in front of me, as you can see here in the video, and I was able to get one from them. The team was very kind enough at Handheld DIY to send a kit to me to use, and the parts that you see before you here, except this piece right here, which is something equivalent to a guitar pick, and that is what we are going to use to take off the backplate on the ROG Ally. These parts, except for the guitar pick, of course, come in this box right here. So this is what it looks like, and this is the translucent backplate here, and they did send me a custom nameplate to go with it, so I will put that on, and this right here will come off. I've actually just once removed it already, so it's easy to remove. Before I transition into showing the installation of this Handheld DIY mod case on my ROG Ally, I want to show you what it looks like installed, and if you are interested, you can continue watching the video to see my candid installation process. As I mentioned, Handheld DIY did send me this mod case. However, no money was exchanged, importantly, and no terms were set on the content I create for it as of making this video, also importantly. The team has even reached out to me and asked if they can be of assistance or answer any questions that I may have about the product. I admire the care they have shown for their product not only, but the experience a novice like myself has with their product. My immediate next step after installing the mod case was to see how the Ally performed in its turbo mode and looking for what temps the APU has, that is specifically the Ryzen Z1 Extreme in this case, with over 30 watts. My playtime following my installation was to gain a first impression. I am very pleased that I experienced no issues with using turbo mode on my ROG Ally with this backplate. There were no interruptions that occurred. I observed that the Ally would use a TDP above 35 watts in turbo mode and not immediately drop due to throttling, for example, for the hour of gameplay across two games, Destiny 2 and Dead Island 2, with this Handheld DIY mod case. I will continue to use this mod case for my ROG Ally, and I think there is an opportunity to see the benefits of using it compared to the stock backplate that came with the ROG Ally. Do let me know in the comments if you're interested in more specifics beyond the first impressions of gaming with this Handheld DIY mod case for the ROG Ally. Their website does show specifics from Cinebench and also other tests done. Find the link to their site in the video description. Also, if you visit the website and decide to buy the mod case from Handheld DIY for your ROG Ally, don't forget to use the 10% discount code, that is Gaming for Insight, and that is with the underscores as well. So do look to use that discount code upon checkout. See the video description for more information. So let's go through what they have sent me in this kit. So as I showed you, the translucent mod case backplate here, and they also have a purple color and they also have a white color as well, and you can actually on their website you can bundle this together with other accessories if you would like, but the set that I have here is the mod case with the custom nameplate, which I have GFI, short for Gaming for Insight. We have an instruction manual right here, so this folds open and it directs you to their website to look at additional details, and I did find on their YouTube channel that they have an instructional video, and it's a short video, and I found it very easy to follow, so I did look at that prior to sitting down and putting this video together today. I will say that I am a complete novice when it comes to modding and backplates. This is the first backplate that I have put on one of my handhelds. If you are looking for video from an experienced modder, let me recommend to you from the Handhelds United group, CPPC Tech. He has a video with a handheld DIY mod case that he has put on his ROG Ally. So I recommend you watch that video in addition to mine after watching my video, or go and watch his and then come back and watch mine, whichever you prefer. Moving on to the other parts, we have this accessory here, and these look to me to be spacers that actually are going to insert here where not where the triggers are, but the back buttons are. And so you have the plus symbols in here on the left and the right. Here, I'll actually see if I can show you here closer. And there are different varieties. There are 3 different varieties of spacers that have a different thickness. So one is a 0.1 millimeter. The other one is a 0.2 millimeter. I wanted to make sure I had that right. Let me get my camera to not blur that. And then the other one is a 0.3 millimeter. So we have that. And according to I apologize. There's actually one more in here. Snuck up on me there. 0.4 millimeter as well. So we do have some options. And according to this link that is provided to go with the spacers, let me get my tablet here, and I'll just move to this link here. I read this page here, and it explains that I'll just paraphrase here, that you will need to experiment to see which ones provide you the best functionality with those back buttons. So it says here, quote, according to our experience, the air on both sides may be different, so please try it multiple times to find a match that suits you. So my expectation here is that we may be I'm going to start with the spacers that come in the default backplate on the ROG Ally, see how those feel, and then I may modify and go to different ones. So we will find that out together in doing this video. And while I have my tablet here, this is my V3 tablet, my Minisform V3 tablet. This is the video that I found and I watched. And it's actually 59 seconds, so it is short, but ROG Ally mod case installation tutorial. I did watch this. And in addition, I also did watch CPPC Tech's video. So I've watched 2 videos for this video that I'm putting together today, thanks to Handheld DIY sending me the backplate mod here for the ROG Ally. And so let's continue with looking at what we have. We have a screw set here. And I'll just take this out. So this is what we're going to use to fasten the triggers and the buttons as well. And we have some additional screws as well to go with that. Put that back here. We also have, this looks like a Apple Watch wrist strap. And what it does is it's going to attach to the top part here and the bottom part here on the back plate. And so it's going to go like this. I'll just move this part here. So it's going to attach like that. And I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to install this on the Ally, but I've once put it on before, but it just slides in like it would with an Apple Watch. So very easy to do, very approachable to do. So I'll set that right here. And I talked about my custom nameplate. And then also this is for heat distribution. This is the equivalent to that of the thermal tape that would go in between to do heat distribution. I'm not explaining this very well, but it's going to go here on the top, and it's in charge of distributing the heat. and it's equivalent to that of like a thermal tape, something you would see on top of VRAM, for example, on a heat plate or heat sink that goes on top of that. And then we have the guitar pick, as I pointed out. All right, so we have our parts. I'm just going to put these to the side right here, and we are going to get my ROG Ally. And we're going to start taking off the back. So I have my ROG Ally right here, and this is the default plate that went with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this down right here, and then I'm going to use the screwdriver here that came with the Handheld DIY mod set, and we're just going to take these off here. So we have the ROG Ally open. So what I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put this up top, and then I'm going to put these up here to the side so I can make sure that I am keeping the right screws together and not get them confused. Okay, so we at least got some of them out. So now what we need to do is we need to take the triggers off, and we need to also take these back buttons off as well. And we're going to look to remove those as well. So we'll start with the trigger here on the left side. Okay, so this is a little one. We'll put this to the side. Little screw, put that to the side, and here is our trigger. So that's one trigger, and we're going to look at the other trigger here. Put that to the side. All right, so we have our triggers to the side. So those, as you can see, are removed. And oh, looks like one of these fell out, which is fine. Okay, and now we're going to work on, see if this one actually, no, that's going to stay. Okay, now let's work on our back buttons here. So we're going to work, these are our back, our back buttons. We're going to work on those. Okay. Okay, and then also note that the spring is going to come out with them. So do be careful of not to lose the spring that comes right out. Okay. All right, so. And then I'm just applying some pressure to push here for these to just snap out. All right, they're a little tricky. Okay. These two come out. Sorry, I'll turn that over to give a better. Okay, yeah, got that too. Come right out. So there's actually not a spacer. It's just the plus symbol plastic that's coming up there. So we'll take a deeper look at that when we put on the case. So here is the other one here. I'm just going to snap it out of place, and then see, it likes to snap back into place very easily. So we'll see if we can keep it and remove. Okay, so it just snaps out like that. There. Get that to focus right here. Okay. So we're going to put that to the side, make sure we are keeping everything together and nothing is left here on the back plate. So we are going to put our back plate to the side, and we are going to take our back plate here, and I might as well just go ahead and put the custom plate on, my custom nameplate. So I'll do that here. And here I'm just going to remove, so just peeling this off like so. So this is adhesive on the back. And I'll put this to the side to keep. And then I will take the adhesive, this adhesive layer here. Oh, get that to peel off there, giving my camera a chance to focus. Okay, I'll take that off like so. Okay. And then we will place this here. And that just sticks right on. Voila. So there is our custom plate right there. All right. So now go with the triggers here. And I'll actually zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Give it a little bit. Okay. All right. So we'll take our left trigger here, put this on like so. Oh, okay. I think I see what it, okay. I see what I did. All right. I needed to move it up slightly more. So looking up here, if you can see, I am fastening the screw into the upper hole closer to the trigger instead of this lower one here. So I was originally trying to put the screw in the smaller hole, and I needed to put it in the larger hole there. So I'll make sure that is fastened. So we will do the other one on the other side. All right. Okay. Now let me see here if I can. Oh, I may not actually. Let me unscrew this. I don't think I fully fit the trigger in as it should go. Okay, so I need to keep it. So you need to keep it back. You need to, you need to keep it pushed down. Okay. I just needed to adjust the placement of it. So what you want to make sure to do is have it situated to where there's still a motion where you can push. So now what I need to do is take one of the screws. right, and then position it. Okay, and then we will fasten it like so. Okay, let me take the other one here. And fasten this one in. Okay, so yeah, so now we still have a spring-like motion. I'm just making sure to tighten these, but not to strip the screw. So now if you look here, we have motion because I made sure to have the trigger slightly inward when screwing this together. I originally was screwing this in and the trigger was too much outward. So the problem is that you would not be able to press it down instead. So do watch for that. So now that I'm familiar with doing this one, I can do this one. So we'll take this trigger. So let me see if I can show this to you better. So I want to press it inward some and then work to position it in here. Okay, so I feel I have a good, and it really just snaps in if you get the positioning right, but you want to hold it with your finger so that it doesn't come out of place. So now let me get the screws here, and we're going to go into on the top, on the bigger hole here. Okay, so I got that fastened, so I'll just show this here. So as you can see, just to further clarify, screw is fastened on the top larger hole, not the bottom one. And then we have the trigger positioned so that there's still a pushing mechanic that can take place and happen. So we will go with the second one there. All right, and we'll make sure we have this one in. All right, and we'll just do a test here. So our triggers seem good. I'm pleased with that. Now let's go with the back buttons. And this is our M2 here. So let me turn this over and get it to snap in. So let me take a moment, flip this back. Just take a moment here. See if, okay. Okay, so they just snap in. They literally just snap in. And let me try the other one. But the problem is that there isn't, if you push down, so this is what I need to look at. If you push down, it's already firmly pushed down. So let's test this out. Let's take the spring here and take the fastener. See what happens when we fasten this in all the way. So yeah, as you can see, it's fully pressed down. So we may need to experiment with the triggers here. So I'll just take my ROG Ally back And if we put this on like so, yeah, if we were to fully fasten this down like so, and so the button is, I mean, there's a little bit that you can press, but it's not as much as I would like. So let's look at our spacers. Let me find those. This is where we may have to experiment with these. So we'll start with our 0.1s. So we'll get one of these out. Okay. And looking at this, there is a indenture. It's going to be really difficult to see, but it looks like it concaves some, and it's going to attach to the plus sign. So let's see if that happens. Okay. So I just pushed it down, and it just fits on there. So let's see how that, so it's not going to fall off easily, I don't think. I'm actually shaking this and it's not falling off. So let's see how that feels if we just attach this to the back right here. Just snap this on a little bit. Okay, so there's slightly more. So I'm going to increase the length. I'm going to use different spacers. So that was our 0.1. So I'm actually now, I sense that I need much more space. So I'm going to actually go to the 0.4s. Let me find those to the side. Okay, here are the 0.4s. So let's try this. And this is just, again, if you turn it on the bottom, you're going to see that there is it concaves some, and you can just fit it onto the plus sign here. So yep, it just sits snug on there. I'll just show you here. Oh, okay, it's just, yeah, it just sits snug. All right, so we will try that with the other trigger. We'll try the 0.4, and I may have to take this off again, but we will give it a try here. So again, this just snaps in. You can actually, let me try starting from the bottom. Yeah, I started from the bottom and then pushed upward, and it just snapped in. And we'll take our spring. Actually, I am going to try something. I want to see if I put the spring in first. I don't think it's going to make a difference. Yeah, I can't see this making a difference here, but we'll try this. Yeah, it's going to snap right out of place, so it's inconsequential. So we'll just go ahead and snap this back. Okay. And then we will put our spring back into place and our fastener. Okay. And then I will take one of my 0.4s here, And I am going to add it here. Just have it snap. Just have it snap on to the plus area here. So if I show you that fastener, that 0.4 feels like rubber. It's just placed right there on top of that. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So we have our triggers and we have our back buttons. So the next step, and of course we have what's most important, which is our nameplate. And we're going to take what looks like a brick here, equivalent to thermal tape. Take this out. It's not really tape. I don't recall the exact name of it, but it's in charge of heat distribution. Okay. See if I can get this out. Yeah, I don't want to. I may just have to tear the bag to get it out because I don't want to stretch it. Okay. All right. Yeah, so just easily peel that off there. Okay. All right, and we're just going to place that right there, and there isn't an indication in the direction that it has to go one way or the other way, so we're just going to place it there. And so I'll put that down here, and I'll pull this up here, and let me maximize or actually demagnify there. So you can see both of these. So we're basically going to flip this over now. And that actually just stays right there, which is great. And we're going to fasten this more. Okay. So let's just get this to fit, and there's a snapping action that happens. But I need to put in the screws, of course. So let's... Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm testing my back buttons here, and to me, those 0.4s feel really nice. And yeah, I feel like there's much room as far as to press down on them. So I have a feeling, or at least I'm sensing, that it's going to be preferential as to whether you want to use the 0.1s versus the 0.2s. And I'm confirming, I think, my knowledge here that you really have to attach it to get a feel as to whether the 0.1s, 2s, 3s, or 4s are going to be best for your back buttons, as it's at least hard for me to deduce in just putting it on as far as the spacer on the plus part of the plastic without fastening the back plate to this to be able to tell. But I like the feeling of the 0.4s. I'm really glad. I mean, that's the widest one, of course. It's going to give you the most space. But I really like that. And there were no spacers that came with the original back plate. I'm looking at that right here. So there was nothing, but there were spacers that came with the DIY, handheld DIY ROG mod case there. So I like this. I like the way this feels. So now that we have this fastened, we need to take our screws here, and we need to put those in the case. I think Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Wow. I like this. This is, I mean, aesthetically, I'm very pleased with the aesthetics of this. This, and it feels, it has, I like the feel to it. I do like how the back buttons feel with those 0.4, what is it, 0.4 millimeter? Yeah, 0.4 millimeter spacer. And then we have this kickstand on the back, and this kickstand is firm right here. I mean, it just has a firm feel to it. I really like that. So let me take this out here. All right, so we can just sit this up like this. Yeah, that's really nice to have that built in. I like that. I'm not used to that. I'm used to having a JSOX dock and then having to, it's not going to fit in there now, but without that, well, actually maybe a little bit, but I actually won't try that. But I'm used to putting it in this dock to be able to lean it back, but I don't have to do that anymore. And I can just have it sit naturally like this, and then plug in the Thunderbolt cord, which I have connecting to the power brick that can function as dock in a sense with the HDMI and USB connection type there. So this works out really well for it to just sit up with the kickstand. I am definitely going to leverage this. I really like that. Very nice. So let's set everything to the side here. Put those over there. And we didn't actually, I mean, we needed the guitar pick initially to get the backplate off. So yeah, if you do have a guitar pick or something of the equivalent to it, this is what I used here. That is helpful to have, at least to start. So we'll put that to the side. And I am now going to show the watch band. So we'll turn this over. And I've done this once, so I'll maximize here and put this here. I think that's good. All right. So it isn't clear to me as to whether it goes one way as far as top bottom. So I'm just going to pick a side, any side, and just slide this in, and then it just snaps into place. And I'm going to put the kickstand all the way up so I can get the bottom, and I'm going left to right, but you can go in either direction, I feel. All right, we'll just slide that one in here. Get that one to go. Just have to push that metal part down. Okay, so that is attached, and I think the purpose, let's see. So we have this attached with the kickstand. Let's see how that feels. So yeah, kickstand still does a good job. Let's take a look at it here. I mean, it's sitting on the rubber, but it still does a good job. I probably, if I'm not using the wrist strap, I'll probably just remove it. And to remove it, I'll actually need this piece here, and then I can just press down on the metal to get that to remove if I want to do that, but I won't do that right now. But let's actually test out the strap here. So let me fix my camera. Go out a little wide there. Okay. All right, so we'll put that there, and I have with me my Ankler power brick, and this is, let me refresh my memory, this is the Ankler 737 power bank, power cord 24K, model A1289, and this can put out a max wattage of 140, and this is what I have. So let's just see how this is going to work with this strap here. So if I want to position it, all right, so USB-C on this side. So let's take this off. All right. And then let's put this here. So that's nice. Due to the kickstand, it just sits right on top there. So, okay, so this may be a little thick, but we'll see if we can get it to work. Okay, actually, we can just get it to work, I think. Okay, yeah, we can just get it to snap on the very top one there. I will zoom in here. It's just enough for this. All right, so we have that. Yeah, that is... It's going to be heavy, but again, because of the power brick. Okay, yeah, so holding this with it, yeah, that is a heavy device. But, I mean, we just want to sit it here, something like that. But, I mean, that's nice that if we want to have something in the back, we can do that. And it doesn't have to be a power brick. It could be a external hard drive, for example, that you want to attach. But this is a nice accessory to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. And I'll just put that to the side, but we will use that later. And I'm going to take this off because I actually just want to use the kickstand functionality without this being in the way, at least for the moment. So I have a iFixit screw here, and I'm just going to press down and remove this. So I just press down, and then this is just going to come right out here. So it's not difficult to do, just a maneuver that is needed with it. Yep. All right, so that is out of the way. And then there we go. Now that we have reached the conclusion of this video, let me share with you some important channel content you don't want to miss. Gaming for Insight is a member and one of the founders of the Handhelds United Discord server and YouTube channel. You can find me and other channels you want to know about on this server. So join us on Discord, see the invite to the server in the video description. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to these other channels for additional content on gaming, handheld devices, and more. Those are Gamers Generation, your friendly AI with a sense of witty humor that uploads informative reviews, tutorials, and more. OKS Gamer, you can find the latest and more than OKS reviews on gaming handhelds and benchmarks, as well as videos on performance with certain drivers. CPPC Tech, known for his awesome mod on the ROG Ally, this channel has reviews and more on gaming handhelds and accessories. Windeck Tech, find candid and informative videos on gaming and the tech space with gaming handhelds and more. Handheld Hardware, formerly known as Project SBC, get the latest perspective from an astute programmer, designer, and reviewer on gaming devices. Now, wouldn't it be neat if all of these channels, including mine, all got together in one place for, say, a podcast to share our knowledge on everything handheld gaming? Well, as a matter of fact, we do. Subscribe to the Handheld United YouTube channel and don't miss our live weekly podcast that I host on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join in the live chat where you can comment on what we discuss and partake in our trivia nights. Links to the YouTube channels mentioned are in the description of this video. So with that, in the words of Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, I should go.